How did your ex go from saying I love you to I want to break up? For the answer, watch this video. Hey, I'm Coach Benny, and I help people get their exes back. And for 5 years, I was a dating coach where I had to pay attention to the mechanics of attraction. And I give advice on how to get your ex back from that unique perspective. Now, if you, in your relationship, you never, hardly ever fought, and one day, almost out of the blue, your ex is saying to you that they want to break up, and even just a day before that, maybe even just a couple days or even a week, but not too long before that, they were telling you how much they love you. You guys had a trip planned, you had all this cool stuff on the table, and it's just like this complete 180 out of the blue. Here's how that happens. Typically speaking, people that had hands-off parents who were not mentoring their child, feeding into them, communicating with them, and guiding them actively, they have no frame of reference for what communication should actually look like. And also, if they didn't practice communication within their childhood, they're going to have a very low bandwidth for dealing with potential big emotions that would come out of conflict. And so typically these people do not set boundaries or communicate their needs to their partners, and they actually don't do this as well in other areas of their life like work and family as well. Now, there's a few problems that come into view from these circumstances, and the first thing is obviously you're not meeting their needs and you're violating their boundaries because you're not a mind reader. So problems are accumulating in the relationship where you think it's perfect because you're never fighting. But typically the reason why you're never fighting is your partner doesn't communicate because they don't have the energy for it. And they don't have the frame of reference for what it should look like. And for you, you're probably struggling with some kind of anxiety where, you're scared to broach conflict with your partner because you can kind of feel their like 1 foot in, 1 foot out nature. And you're scared that if you broach conflict that you might send them running for the hills. So this unresolved conflict balls up to the point where your ex becomes overwhelmed, and now all of a sudden they want to break up. And it's totally out of the blue. But even if the cause of the breakup isn't you, let's say you're not violating their boundaries or not meeting their needs or whatever, a lot of times they'll break up with you anyway because they've spread themselves so thin between you, between work, between family, school, whatever, that when some life event comes along, for example, grandma dies or, money gets tight or whatever the case is, their only course of action is to split off the relationship because they're trying to sort of like lighten their load. And they do view the relationship as a source of stress because in their childhood, their parents were super hands-off if they were even present at all. And so they kind of view the relationship as a responsibility that they have to take care for. Now, when this happens, your ex is going to be really firm about it. You might get lucky and talk them back into it right away, but probably by the time you're watching this video, you've tried that already, hasn't worked out, and they're going to be really cold to you. Eventually, they might even say mean things and shut you out so fiercely, and they might even go so far to distract themselves by becoming a workaholic or even jumping into another relationship right away. Now, what I wanted to tell you in this video is that, number one, these are the reasons why all this stuff happens, right? But number two, you can absolutely put your relationship back together if you know what you're dealing with and you know what to do from here. If you want some help with this process, click into my profile, click this link down here, set up a call with me, and I'm going to hear your story. I'm going to tell you a step-by-step game plan to get your ex back.